Never thought. Iron Man's good friend Colonel Rhodes. It had been switched by the school people, and it was a woman impersonating him. He met Nick Fury's wife at church and gave the final order. That's the assassination of Nick Fury. Unfortunately, the conversation between the two had already been eavesdropped on, waiting for the wife to come home. Nick acted as if nothing had happened, but the wife can't contain the fluctuating emotions. He doesn't want to start with his husband at all, and Nick came clean. He overheard his wife's conversation with Rob. The next moment, both men raised their guns at the same time, and they just hit the gunman behind each other. It seems that the couple had a tacit understanding. Loyalty is tested. The two were relieved, and Nick knows the wife was not on a mission to assassinate herself. Rod is sure to get him in trouble, so Nick broke into Rod's house. Have a nice moment, Nick said. Already know that the other party is a squad. And if you want Nick to keep it a secret, the condition is to help him restore the survival of American citizens. But Rod turned on the big screen. There's a video of Nick in Moscow. Think no one will believe a wanted criminal. Nick had no choice but to leave, and he was already in Rod's body. Liquid tracker installed. Soon Colonel Rhodes met with the president. And as the president's motorcade moved, Rhodes will also provide location information to General. And Galway followed up with Galway. The convoy was bombed. Grave and his men took on the appearance of Russians. This led everyone to conclude it was a Russian attack. The president had now passed out in the car. To save the president, Nick and Talos come to support. Galloway found that the two were again just in time to disrupt his plans, mistakenly thinking that there are traitors around. Angry, he no longer hides it. Directly demonstrated new power. Turns out he was injected with a desperate virus in advance. Talos was accidentally shot during the fierce battle. Gradually, I can't control it. I have to change it back to the scene was spotted by soldiers covering the president. Almost shot Talos. Fortunately, it was stopped by Nick in time. Talos smashed the glass with all his strength. Finally let Nick rescue the president, and just after installing the president, the soldiers around him were switched by Grave. Only Grave poured the dagger into Talos' body. No matter how Nick shoots, under the influence of a desperate virus, Grave's body will recover quickly. Wait for the military helicopter to arrive. Gravey fled the scene in his partner's car. And that's how Talos died in the battle. Facing the current unfavorable situation, Nick had to dump Talos' body, leave alone with the president, and that was the night before. GIA, who was shot, came back to life. It turned out that when he escaped from the base, I also checked the memory of the arrested doctor, learned about what Grady was working on. This desperate virus can make the screw stronger. Therefore, GIA injected the virus into her body in advance. Therefore, he accidentally gained the ability to resurrect. Since the school posed as Russians to attack the president was taken to the hospital. Nick told the unconscious president, "Don't believe Colonel Rhodes." And soon the fake Rhodes rushed over. Nick saw this and immediately pressed it to the wall. Fake Rhodes' backhand threat. The helpless Nick had to be forced to leave. When the president wakes up, Jared bewitched the president. Let it retaliate against Russia. The Third World War is about to break out. School's General Grave called. Say, Nick, as long as you agree to hand over what is called a harvest, then he will stop the three wars from happening. Wrinkle the white-haired elderly man successfully passed through border security, and this person is the widow who killed Nick after being disguised. In the car, Nick explained the meaning of the harvest. He actually assembled the Avengers DNA. Things made. Soon after, he and Sonya arrived at a cemetery, and the name on the tombstone is Nick himself. Sonya asked, "Why not ask the Avengers to settle this?" And Nick explained that it's just a personal grudge. And then Nick flipped the switch. As the tombstones rise, the story of becoming a harvest gradually emerged. Then Nick entered the secret room on the side. Recognition by eye. He pulled all kinds of vintage objects out of it, including the blindfold. And this, it was the classic costume that he first appeared in the Avengers. It looks like a big war is about to break out. The other side, due to Graves' repeated measures, it can be removed. Nick's excuse, he was questioned by one of his men, and the next second, this man was brutally murdered. Watching Gravy killed in public, others also became distrustful. He was too scared to speak. Take advantage of lunch. Several subordinates attacked G from behind. Ravi intended to end his brutality. I didn't expect Huawei, injected with a desperate virus, is so bitter. Several partners can suppress him. In the end, it would counter-kill. I thief. At this moment, GIA on the other side, with the help of Nick's wife, buried his father, Carlos. After returning to the house, Nick's wife expressed her reluctance to leave. It's because of this room full of memories of him and Nick. However, this also led to Graves' men successfully chasing the pack. I plan to deal with the two of them. Fortunately, the two of them are excellent. That's how they survived the shooting. Marvel's latest series Secret Invasion finale is melee with various Avengers abilities. Nick Fury single-handedly confronts the Skrull and shot Colonel Rhodes. So here we go. After Nick Fury left the cabin, came to the hidden nuclear power plant of the schools. But as he approached the inside, and there were Skrull bodies everywhere. It turned out that they rebelled against the rule of the grave. All were killed mercilessly. Due to the high radiation index here, Nick, being human, had to take medication to reluctantly continue to go deeper. When he opened the glass door, finally met the Skrull General Grom. At this point, Nick couldn't take it anymore. Just about to open the medicine bottle and take it. As a result, he fell to the ground with shaking. When Gravy saw this, he stepped forward and crushed the pill. Seeing Nick so unbearable, he pretended to be kind and handed over another bottle of water. Then, Gravy took out all his anger on Nick. Think Nick abandoned the school. Failed to keep his promise to help them find a new home. Make them look like beggars on earth. 30 years in seclusion. Nick finally explained why. Said he'd been looking for then you will know there is no planet in the universe suitable for the school to live on. The only way is for them to live on Earth. But I want to live so bad, really. It's basically harder than going to the sky. Nick had to take it out. The bottle that gathers all the Avengers' DNA. Guadalupe puts the reagent in front of the computer. Conduct a careful inspection. There were all kinds of electricity in it that he wanted. So the next moment, Gravy turned on the genetically modified device, successfully gained various Avenger abilities, and the reason he didn't kick Nick out is because engineering experiments don't conceive of humans. Next, he's going to make Nick pay the final price. He was about to end Nick's life, but Nick actually caught his fist with his bare hands. And sent the opponent flying to the nuclear power tower with one punch. In the dust, Nick comes over, eventually became GIA. And the real Nick shows up at the hospital at this time, and succeeded in getting rid of Jared's men. He informed the president. Jared next to him is a Skrull. This left the president wondering for a moment who to believe, and Jared thought he had his moment. Just about to resist, but was shot and killed by Nick first, as the corpse transformed back into a Skrull. The president finally believed me, and ordered the cessation of nuclear strikes against Russia and the other side, as the school of GIA now also had the abilities of the Avengers. Therefore, the most powerful battle from Marvel had begun. In fact, the collection of that Screen Century is not only. The Avengers also had the DNA of various villains. I saw Galloway waving his finger, immediately used the ability of Ebony Marquis. Immediately, the two lasers that released the crystal team collided with each other. GIA in the air was strangled by the other party, so he came out of the tentacles of the Mantis woman, give the other party a brief control. the same person. GIA is smarter to you. His constant combination of strategy easily came to grave from. Glowway, who fell at a disadvantage, is still finally under a laser. Braveheart was vaporized and successfully received the box lunch. Then GIA returned to the base, released the human officials held by the school. The real Rhodes also woke up from his slumber. At this time, he still maintained the appearance of a lame. That is to say, he was in Team San during the Civil War, had been kidnapped by the school. Infer from this, those who participated in Avengers Science is actually all Skrull imitations. Soon the president issued urgent news, admit the existence of Skrull on Earth, and go into war with them. And the president's purpose in saying that, in fact, it was to force Nick to remove the school from Earth. When the God Bureau of the space station has sent an important message, said the Kree were about to make peace with the school. That's the good news. Nick chooses to go to space again. He brought his wife. We got on a spaceship to space together. And the plot of the secret invasion, that's the end of it.